we're looking at units of length or height, and there's more to remember for this one. We're looking at millimetres, centimetres, metres, and kilometres or kilometres, however you prefer to say that. It's worth learning these conversions and remembering them. It just makes it a lot quicker when you have to convert from one to the other. There's a video at the beginning of this playlist that explains how to multiply and divide by 10, 100 and 1,000. You need to know how to do that, otherwise this will take much longer than it should. Here we have a 10 centimetre ruler. If we have 1 millimetre from that ruler, that's represented by the arrow there. If we have 10 of those millimetres, that takes us to 1 centimetre. So 10 millimetres is 1 centimetre. Because they're 10 times smaller than a centimetre, you'll always need 10 times more millimetres than centimetres. So if we have 10 millimetres, and that's the same as 1 centimetre, then when we have 20 millimetres, that's 2 centimetres, 30 millimetres is 3 centimetres, and so on. There will always be 10 times more millimetres because we need 10 times more to cover the same space. Moving on to metres. Sometimes you need to convert from centimetres to metres, and sometimes from millimetres to metres. So we're going to look at both. If we imagine that this is a metre stick, you can see that in that metre we have 100 centimetres. We need 100 times more centimetres to cover the same space for every metre. 1 metre is 100 centimetres. Millimetres, you can look at this in two ways. If you're working with centimetres, you can remember that millimetres are always going to be 10 times more. If you're working just with metres and millimetres, you need to remember that millimetres will be 1,000 times more because there are 1,000 millimetres in a metre. Remember that the bigger the unit you're measuring with, the fewer you will need, or the less you will need. So if we have 1 metre stick and we're measuring a wall that's a metre wide, we only need 1 metre to measure it. But if we were measuring that same wall that's a metre wide and we're measuring it in centimetres, we will need 100 of those centimetres to measure the same width. Now looking at kilometres. We need 1,000 metres to make a kilometre. If you know that there are 100 centimetres in a metre, then you can work out that for every metre you need 100 times more to make the centimetres. So 1,000 times by 100 is 100,000. To work out millimetres, it depends on whether you're working them out from centimetres or metres. Remember that the millimetres are always going to be 10 times more than the centimetres. You need 10 times more millimetres to cover the same area of centimetres. If you're working directly from metres, then you need to remember that you need 1,000 times more millimetres. Whether you times the metres by 1,000 or the centimetres by 10, you'll find how many millimetres you have. And in 1 kilometre, that's 1,000,000 millimetres.